Hello. What's this? And this? Well, these are my actual hands. That's the beautiful thing about Oculus is that they allow for hand tracking. Limited hand tracking. The moment my wrists start to block my hands, they tend to disappear. But it's still a neat feature, and it allows me to wave to use, like I like to do at the start of my videos. So I like it. And it'll even allow me to interact with my menu and stuff. So that's pretty nice. Anyway, today's review is part 2 of the Oculus headset. We're actually getting into the VR parts of instead of just looking at the headset itself. I'm sorry this is late. It's just a tremendous pain in the ass trying to put everything together and get it to where it needs to go. Anyway, long story short, this might take a little bit of a little bit longer than some of my other videos, which I'm not looking forward to, because I like to try and keep them nice and short. You already know how I feel. I do recommend the Oculus because, like, it tracks all the way down to the ground. Like, if I need to pick something off the ground, I can literally go down to the ground and grab it off of the ground. Anyway, so like we're just more or less showing off different features and how one might be more improved upon, or one looks better than the other, because it's still a comparison to the PSVR versus the Oculus, because both. Full disclosure, I am quite the Sony fanboy. I fucking Sony all day long, but when it comes to VR, I cannot not give credit where it's due. Like, they just do it so well. Like, look at this 3D environment that I'm in. Alright? I've got a neighbor over there. I've got a neighbor over there. I've got the sweet fucking place. And look at that view. Look at that ravine. The mountains. That sunset. The clouds. It's breathtaking. And this is only my third favorite. This isn't even like... let's show better environments. Alright, now you got like a small handful to select from, but that is like my third favorite. This is my second favorite. Let me just get that menu out of our way. Look at that. Look at that. Damn. You don't get anything like this from Sony. Nothing like this from Sony. Just magnificent. Cyber City and Space Station are actually kind of tied for first place, so I'm gonna show them both off just because, like, would you look at all that? Would you look at all that? Look at that! Look at this sweet place. I don't know what that does, and I don't know if I want to know. It looks like medical, but I don't think I'd ever let it fucking touch me personally. But just... ain't that beautiful? And Cyber City, just because, like, it's neat. It's... look at that. It's almost like Cyberpunk 2077, only 100 times less glitchy. Granted, it's also just kind of a static image and stuff, but breathtaking. This place is like a little, it's nice. I like it. It's minimalist and stuff, but, I feel like any of those places are probably a lot fancier than my little shitty apartment. Yeah, and then try and compare this to the shitty 2D environment that Sony presents, right? Let me pull up an image here. You know what's extra frustrating about that though is that's actually a VR game. That background in that picture is from a VR game, and it's still just a static, shitty 2D image. They also don't let you record your menus, so that's also a little bit shitty and annoying too. But you can still take pictures, so I guess there's that. Clearly, as you can see, Oculus is even better at that. But yeah, that's enough talking shit about just environments. Now let's talk about menu systems. Like, menus in this is literally as simple as point over there, click, and then you can like drag, click, drag. Let me try and actually find something that's worth clicking. Whoop. Ooh, Township Tale. Love that game. That's another thing. You can't do that. When you watch ads on Sony, they don't let you skip forward or backwards into the ad to see different stuff. Oh, it has to update. It's all quite literally point and click. Point and click. I know that's probably just like a little annoying just to hear a handful of times and stuff, but just it's simple, and I like it because with the PlayStation, you either have the remote, which you click up 10 times to go up 10 options, or you have the remote and you have to really delicately just flick lightly if you want to go up one option, or just wildly swing your arm up or down if you want to go up or down a handful of options. And I don't like it. I also, let's just quickly bring these into the fray. I also like the analog stick. That's a big game changer to me, because if I don't feel like clicking and dragging around, I can just boop. Which is what you'd have to do with Sony. I didn't know I can actually like specifically select options one at a time like this. This is how you'd have to cycle on Sony. And isn't that boring? Isn't that much more boring than just ah boop boop. Anyway, let's get to games. I've selected 3 games and very specific here. Walking Dead: Saints and Sinners, Waltz of the Wizard, and Afflicted: The Manor. Just because these are the quickest and easiest ways to show off the differences, I will go ahead and boot those up, and in the meantime, be right back. In both examples, you'll notice that a lot of the details are kind of cartoony. That's mostly probably because this is based off of The Walking Dead, the comic book, not The Walking Dead on AMC. So it's going to have like a more cartoony feel. But there are like certain things in the background that I can definitely tell have been reduced. Small details that are just non-existent on the Quest version versus, one second here, the PlayStation edition, which, for example, features these chairs and like the knots in the tree, and the tree is just slightly more detailed and a little less cartoonish and low poly. Even this further one has like knots in it and slightly greater detail that you can kind of actually tell it has bark on it, and again with the further one over there, which I guess is another thing. The PlayStation edition does have a greater draw distance. I'm trying to remember if I actually see that tree in there or not. 1 second, let me switch back to the Oculus edition, which I do see the tree. The tree is definitely actually there. So that is kind of cool. I actually didn't think that we'd see that far. Yeah, the draw distance is a little shorter on the Oculus, but at the same time, Sony has, if you want the best experience, you're going to get yourself a PlayStation Pro, so that's a $600 whole ass console to process. I'm pointing over there because in my actual physical room it's right there. So obviously there would be greater details and stuff, like if I were to plug this even into my shitty laptop over here, then I'm sure I could probably enhance some of these details. That's actually another thing, but I'm going to get back to that detail later. So yeah, greater detail on the Sony edition, but this is a standalone headset. Like there's nothing helping this process, so there would obviously be a slight reduction in graphical quality, and say for example those chairs aren't there anymore, but due to Oculus's ability to track my hands a little bit, I can actually point a single finger or bring it down, thumbs up, thumbs down, point your gun. I can't do that shit on Sony. And on top of that, due to the fact that it's one camera across the room from you, you can't really do things like oh no, I dropped my axe over there, oh, and then just I have to readjust my floor. But you know, I can actually just bend down and pick that up, and I like that detail. It's nice that you can just teleport things to you, but for the immersion purposes, it's nice to actually get the fuck down there and pick it up. But you know, that's just this game though. In some other games, there's actually like additions to the game more than reductions. Like for example, Afflicted the Manor. Affected the Manor is another is one of those examples that I mentioned a second ago, where you get a little extra. Like the gauntlet, I don't really care for the gauntlet. You just literally like sprint your way through and try to make your way as quickly as possible, and a bunch of shit just gets thrown in front of you to block your way. It's really kind of annoying. That's basically like this, but like a more linear experience, and I'm not gonna lie, that one that one spooked me a few times. There's a whole lot of like little dolls and freaky shit like that. I mean, there's a whole lot of like small children and then freaky doll shit in there too, but you know, look at this entire room, right? There's like little pictures, creepy ass children, stacks of books. There's like an entire room to just walk around in. There's a nice little Ouija board. I wish I could move around. It's a tutorial. You even get settings. You can like smooth turn, which I like, or snap turn, recommended for people that aren't quite used to walking around and stuff, and like walking speed, which is still pretty damn slow, if I have to admit. Now, since that aren't part of the Sony experience, we'll show you right now. Alright, here on Sony, I don't have a hand, I just have my wands. And we also aren't really allowed to walk around the room. We can snap turn only around the room. There's only one walking speed and only snap turn available. And only the manor is available. The darkness, the tutorial, and the gauntlet, as you can see, are not available. So this is one of those examples where there is slightly more to be had in the Oculus experience versus the Sony experience. However, everything is the exact same the moment I click that, and the moment in Oculus when I walk through those big sweet looking doors. Those things look awesome. Like if I ever had like a huge ass room, I'm getting doors like that, not the point. Anyway, And we are in the little cemetery and we walk towards the house and then we pick our path and all that shit. Everything after that is the exact same. So we're just actually going to move right on to the very next example, Waltz of the Wizard, which I've been meaning to review, and we're going to technically do so now in here. Be there in just a second. Alright, in Waltz of the Wizard, you only get privy to this one time when you first boot up, and you're only privy to that door on Sony. That door is 100% unavailable to you, and we're gonna get to that in probably about damn it, I was hoping it'd stick up 3 fingers. And we're gonna get there in a few minutes. I was gonna try and say like 3-ish minutes, but I just want to first plug, like, how beautiful is all that shit? Trying to remember if I ever saw any of that on Sony. Anyway, let's go ahead and walk ourselves into that tower. This right here, as far as I know, is 100% the same for Sony. Personally, I kind of feel like the graphics here are a little bit better. The texture's not so much. You can kind of tell it's layered. But that's if you get down close, which you can do on Oculus. I feel like everything's also more vibrant in here. But let me contrast that. Let me switch over to the Sony edition to really feel out those differences. Alright, so glowy hands is pretty neat and all, but shit. Well, like I said, you only get the tower, which is a much less neat door and Sony, and none of that extra. Damn. They did us dirty, but that means I'm also going to have to quickly stop recording for a moment while oh, no, everything's here. Nice. There's no splashes of paint on the floor. Which, I mean, don't get me wrong, it did look a little like the floor could use a sweeping and stuff, but, why does it feel like there's a fog? I don't think I ever noticed that there was a bit of a fog. Now, like, that's definitely vibrant and stuff, but I feel like it was definitely brighter, more vibrant, and, less foggy when I was playing on the Oculus. You'll also notice in the Oculus, if you look out the window, there's a courtyard over there, but there isn't here on Sony, because Sony doesn't have natural magic expansion. So no fancy door over here, no fancy door back in the void, and no courtyard over there. So that is also a secondary example of how and when Oculus does go a little bit above and beyond where Sony doesn't. In both of them, though, you can splash around a little thing. It's kind of neat. Anyway, yeah, I definitely feel like as far as VR experiences go, it's a little bit more fun on Oculus because they have the analog stick that allows for greater control instead of having to break your wrist and hope that it doesn't lose tracking when you point the colored light up bit away from the camera and it gets blocked by the controller itself. You can instead just back up or turn and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know. I like the way it controls more on Oculus. But let's also just go above and beyond and show you that natural magic expansion that they have that we don't. Alright, so the natural magic expansion is like 40 levels of a dungeon crawler. Your most common enemy will be that guy, so I'm going to show you briefly how to deal with him. But you also get this little courtyard area, which is really cool and has a couple of neat little things, like if you ring that bell, some dude will talk to you. There's a guy trapped in the well. Anyway, let's go square up against these things. So, despite it being called natural magic, ironically, one of the attacks are straight up bare knuckle boxing. Now, if you do want to use the magic system, you just ball a fist and nearly punch yourself in the face. Stop short, idealistically. And as you can see, this is incredibly neat and fun to play with. And if you just let it go, do its own neat thing, it'll do increasingly distracting stuff. It is incredibly fun to just kind of get high and watch that, not gonna lie. You know, use responsibly where legal. Because legal purposes. Yeah, that strike should come out as red, possessive strike, which comes out as purple. You can see the clear difference between the two. One, you know, quick little punch, and the other one, straight up just throw. However, there is one other attack. You can bring it up to your mouth, and then the louder you yell, I apologize, this is about to get loud. Foos Roda! It causes damage as you talk. You can talk soft and stuff, and it does like weak damage, but if you like, then it'll actually do some real damage. But I have like a lot of roommates, so that's about all the screaming I'm about to do. Yeah, I like this. This is incredibly fun. It's a free update of like 40 levels for a $10 game, so that's a pretty good deal. This is only available on Oculus Quest though. So in many ways, the game isn't that bad, so I recommend it, at least on Quest, where you get the most out of it. Ooh, Quest does this other thing. Right before you start recording, let me bring up a picture. Alright, so yeah, I love that. Whenever I start recording, they're like, hey, your mic's on, just on. Watch what you say, don't be stupid. And if it's off, then it's like, hey dumbass, like, you're probably gonna talk and you probably want people to hear what you say, so you might want to unmute that. Sony doesn't do that. Sony lets you record whole ass hours of content and doesn't once let you know, hey stupid, you didn't actually record any of that, at least not audibly. Other than that, though, the other big thing I do enjoy, nice arm, buddy, about Oculus that I dislike about Sony is that just because something isn't on Oculus's store doesn't mean I can't still get it on this headset. Say for example, I really enjoy this one Attack on Titan game because I'm a bit of a fan of Attack on Titan. Now keep in mind, this is a free experience made by like one dude or a handful of dudes, so it's not gonna be the prettiest thing. It's also completely unlicensed, so I don't think they're even really supposed to be doing this necessarily. But it is still incredible fun whipping around the world of Attack on Titan. Now granted, you only get like 3 levels, but they're still incredibly fun. And even though you can't really cut them to pieces, no psycho, you can still cut them down. The stunts are my favorite part. And if you feel like you can do it, you change this to black or purple, depending on who you want to summon. And whoop. Female Titan or Armored Titan will show up. Too far. And she is incredibly difficult to beat. But anyway, obviously you don't want to attack it because they'll crush you. But yeah, that's my review of the Oculus Quest in terms of the VR-ness. I like it. I like it a lot. These things are really gonna annoy the hell out of me the more they sing. Ain't that cool though? But you can even customize these. That's why mine are black and red. And if you don't want to cut down the Titans and you just feel like, you know, swinging around the forest or one of the other levels, this one's my favorite, that's why I'm swinging around here, then well, it's, you know, it's up to you. Anyway, that's my review. I like Oculus. As much as I love Sony and as much as I'm a Sony fanboy, you know, when they knock it out of the park, they knock it out of the park. Oh, thought I totally hit that. Anyway, one more backflip and a little swing, and I don't know what that was about. That's, I don't know, everything basically I have to say. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope this was helpful, and take care.